Ever wondered what goodies are being served in a Filipino party? Well, today we're talking about 6 kinds of Filipino food that you have to try to get acquainted with the flavors of the Philippines. So get ready because it's munch time! Hello and welcome to Lockdown Munchies, your guide to the yummiest goodies this side of the community quarantine. My name is Mix Torres, I am hungry, and what a treat I have for you today. Food that's close to my heart. Or arteries, depending on how much I take. We will have flavorful, exciting, and intriguing plates of Filipino food! Whenever people talk about parties, they talk about the hustle and bustle, the commotion, the common traditions. But when we Filipinos celebrate, we mean having loads of delicious grub. If you're curious or you just want some sort of guide so you won't be lost among the huge pile of plates in a Filipino get-together, here are the top 6 dishes that you need to know and have. First up, sisig. A famous delicacy in Pampanga, the culinary capital of the Philippines. Whenever someone asks me what sisig is, I just reply, don't ask, just enjoy. Mainly because it's really delicious, but also because some people get cringy when they learn that it's made of parts of a pig's head. Like cheeks, jowl, ears, some liver as well. It's getting its fair share of fame worldwide because it's really tasty. The flavors of sisig are truly unique and very Filipino. This sisig that we will be having today is from Verde Sisig. They're a startup seller that's been making this sisig for years now, and I'm really glad that they're letting us enjoy this now commercially. Now, I'm really looking forward to tasting this sisig. You see, I like sisig. And Verde Sisig comes to you frozen, so you can actually cook it the way you want to. If you would like to make it crispier, or if you want to make it a little chewy. Once you get the desired doneness, here is where it becomes a little controversial. Crack a single egg into that sisig and mix it around. Now, it's controversial because there are some people who are purists and they don't want to put egg on your sisig, but they still get that flavor. Make sure you have calamansi because it needs that citrus kick. Lastly, add some soy sauce, just a little bit. It's got that chewy, glutinous texture of the meat, which would include the ears also. That's where some of the bite comes from here in the sisig. Wonderful. And it's got some bold spice too, because when you make sisig, you also put some siling labuyo or red chilies. Now time to try it with some rice. The thing is, this dish is kind of dense, so a little goes a long way when it comes to eating it with rice. Guys, I'm telling you, you gotta try this. This is good sisig. It's got that flavor that you want, trust me. This brand will introduce you to the dish very well. Verde Sisig is something that you should try. It has that familiar homey taste that you're looking for in sisig. If you want to try Verde Sisig, just look at the description box. I'm going to link it there. Before we continue, I'm going to switch caps. I have longer hair now, so it just wouldn't stay put as well as before when I had short hair. So I'm going to switch to this one. Now on to our next Filipino favorite, Lumpia. What kind of Filipino party would it be without Lumpia? These are Filipino spring rolls that are made or filled with usually seasoned meat or vegetables like bean sprouts, or in Filipino we call it toge, and also some heart of palm. In Filipino we call it ubod. It can be served either fried or fresh, but it's a kind of treat that you can take anywhere and enjoy any day. No wonder we love it so much. Our lumpia today comes from Bailon Foods. They're OG, and they've been serving great Filipino food for a long time now. And we have 2 kinds right here, the lumpiang Shanghai and the lumpiang sariwa. Let's start tasting the lumpiang Shanghai first. I like the filling, very tasty, and the wrapper, springy, tasty, chewy actually. And it comes with a tangy sweet and sour sauce, a combination of sweet, salty, sour. It's actually finger food, so I didn't know why I was using a fork. It's been marinated properly, so you know you're gonna get quality lumpia. Next, let's try the lumpiang sariwa or fresh lumpia. The wrapper is soft and it's made of rice, I believe. Personally, I prefer lumpiang sariwa over lumpiang Shanghai anytime, any day. I like the texture of the wrapper that's a little almost gooey from the sauce. Lumpiang sariwa has a brown sauce that's very peanutty and also very garlicky. Now what Bailon does is that they put the sauce inside already, and so you don't really have to put anything on it. Just eat it as is. It's wonderful, man. I am 100% confident. I could say this is the GOAT of all lumpia. Of course, you know this wouldn't be complete without pancit. We won't talk about the history of pancit. It'll take up the whole episode. We'll just tell you what it is and why it tastes so good. Pancit, well, it's simply noodles. Filipinos, we love our rice, but if there's something that we could love even more, that's gotta be pancit. There are a variety of ways to cook and serve pancit, but basically it's stewed or wok fried and then bathed with sauce and then loaded with toppings. We are going to feature Pancit Lucban, a variety of pancit from the province of Quezon and Luzon. And it's from a restaurant chain called Buddies, which offers a wide array of Filipino favorites. One of their most loved dishes is the Pancit Lucban. It's got a nice combination of vegetables, it's got some meat as well. It also comes with sauce and vinegar, which is really important when you eat Pancit Lucban. A version of this is also being sold as street food. Its flavor is very rich, so you need something to cut into that richness. And the brown sauce provided and also the vinegar helps a lot in making sure that the flavors are all balanced and you really enjoy eating it. And I love it that it comes with chunks of nice good old pork. That's a massive pork chunk right there. Look! Now pancit is not like pasta in the sense that we do not go for the al dente texture. Most of the time it's soft, doesn't have that springy bite as much as pasta or maybe ramen. Is different. But Pancit Lucban, it's a little firm. That's why I enjoy it. It's different than the Pancit Canton or the Miki Bihon that you probably see a lot when you go into Filipino celebrations abroad. Pancit Lucban is in a league of its own. Up next, woohoo! It's gonna be lechon. Lechon is perfectly roasted baked. So succulent, so flavorful. Like your mouth has its own party and lechon is the guest of honor that you eat. Okay, morbid images aside, this is arguably the best pork dish you will have in your life, and I'm not even exaggerating. The meat is cooked to a juicy doneness, imbibing all the flavors it was filled with, and the skin is a gem of crackling perfection. Today's lechon is from one of my favorites, Rico Lechon. They're an icon and they're from Cebu, where they make fantastic lechon by seasoning the pig with some onions, some garlic, shallots, lemongrass, bay leaves, citrus leaves, scallions, salt, and pepper. Okay, excuse me, I really just have to bite into this lechon. I like the saltiness of the meat, man. The flavors that were used to stuff the pig, it's all coming out in the meat. It's got a smoky taste and it's perfectly roasted. The texture, the flavor, the tender meat. No wonder it's the star of every occasion. Guys, everything you've come to hear about lechon from Filipinos, the legend, the lore, the epic, it's all true. Now, if you ask people who've tried lechon what their favorite part is, most of them at least, will say it's the skin. Nice and crispy and really tasty. Wow. Oh yeah, tastes almost like bacon, but better. Yeah, I said it. Lechon skin is way better than bacon. The traditional Manila lechon sauce is actually made of liver, vinegar, and spices. Cebu lechon has sort of spiced vinegar. It's got a lot of chilies, but it's very tangy. It's not really super hot. It's mild, but you're going to enjoy it because it perfectly cuts into that fat, the oiliness of the lechon. You know, there's a lot more other Filipino food that you should try, but this, quintessential. Up next, we got adobo. Probably the most famous Filipino dish of all time. Adobo comes from the Spanish word adobar, which means to braise, and there's a million ways to prepare this. Well, it depends on how many families are in the Philippines, because every family has their own version, has their own tradition in making this dish. Although at its core, adobo is meat that's cooked in some soy sauce and some vinegar with salt, pepper, and a bay leaf. lots of garlic too. What you will learn about Filipino food is that we love our meat, our salt, and our vinegar. This is a testament of that love. Our adobo comes from Manam, a modern Filipino restaurant putting their own spin on classic Filipino dishes. This adobo though, it stays true to the flavor and it's loaded with garlic. This is garlicky chicken and pork adobo. This is the type of adobo that's a little dry. I know that this adobo from Manam is actually really quality. Meat is really tender. And you can taste the vinegary sauce that they have. Very salty and sour. Now this is a classic Filipino adobo taste, and what I enjoy about it is that it actually is close to the home-cooked adobo that, you know, Filipinos are used to. The garlic, it's really swimming in garlic. And the meat really has soaked the braise, man. It's soaked in the flavor. Hey, we can't end this guide without having dessert. And what a perfect way to cap off a meal in a warm tropical country than to put some candied beans and fruits, top it with shaved ice, drench it with sweet milk, and garnish it with some ube, caramel custard flan, and in some cases, ice cream. Yep, a mix of glorious treats. Halo halo! Literally, it translates to mix mix. But, well, for grammar's sake, so we won't be convicted of murder, let's go with keep on mixing. Yeah, you have to keep on mixing it to bring out and balance all the flavors inside. Today's dessert comes from, surprisingly, a fast food chain here in the Philippines, Chowking. Trust me, they have one of the best halo-halos around. It's starting to get really warm, so I'm going to take my hat off. I like the combination of flavors that Chowking has. But the selling point of this halo-halo is really its sweetness and its creaminess, and it's very heavy too. I really love this halo-halo. And it may come from a fast food chain, but I can tell you right now, this was considered in the list of best halo-halos in Metro Manila. There's some pinipig as well to give that added crunch. This dessert perfectly caps off the wonderful feast we've had. So if you're planning a trip to the Philippines, or if you're here already and it's your first time here and you don't know where to go, what to eat, I'm sure you've heard about halo-halo a lot from a lot of different vlogs. Try Chowking's halo-halo. You can find Chowking everywhere. If you're Filipino and you're watching this, oh dude, come on, you know. And now for the verdict. Amazing food. It's like the warmth of home. Maybe that's why foreigners and Filipinos in other countries love these meals, and they're a staple in every Filipino celebration. Of course, I haven't even included other favorites like pork barbecue, hamonado, morcon, caldereta. The list goes on and on. But these 6, they are the gateway to the flavors of Philippine cuisine. So if you're planning a trip to the Philippines after the pandemic, of course, you can have these top favorites and appreciate our culture for food. Hey, if you want to try the ones that I had exactly, I am going to link their pages on the description below. For more food videos, check these out. Also, don't forget to subscribe and hit the bell button for updates on new stuff. And remember, you can do so much even with just a little imagination. Eat well, and I'll see you again soon.